chit chat session of the channel. So today I will be sharing with you guys another topic that is also very interesting. I'd never actually thought of it. So I just came back from a run, but I think it's gonna be a very different experience to share with you guys. So as you may know that I actually am a big fan of weight training, and when I first started training, I started off with Pilates, and when I get to the level that I feel more confident to put myself out there into the gym, I did. So my starting point was always weight training, and it was always about picking up the weight and being able to lift heavier every single day. However, that has changed as I'm speaking at this moment in time. So the whole thing is in terms of why I made such a decision to pick up endurance training, to pick up running, and now making that a big proportion of my whole training program, is that due to the fact that we are in lockdown and there is no gyms that are open, I need to find another way to bring in the intensity for my training. I do have a resistance band, and I do have other equipment that I can work with at home in terms of strength training, so I still am doing that. But I think now that picking up a new hobby and then just keep working on it is quite nice as well. So that's why I decided to pick up running. I've recently followed Nick Bare YouTube channel, and I think the way that he runs and the way that he transformed from being a successful bodybuilder, and the way that he go into competing his Ironman and marathon challenges is just amazing, and I would love to do the same, I guess. So if you are interested in checking Nick Bare out and how he gone from being someone that really heavy on weight and then going into running and all of that, you can go on YouTube and just search for Nick Bare. He's everywhere on YouTube. So going back to my experience, I wasn't keen on running before. I hated cardio, any form of cardio, not just running. And now that, because the gyms are closed, everyone around me is running, everyone in the area that I live in are running, I think I should be a part of that. So I started off with the 5k on my first day of running. I wouldn't call that first day running, because most of the time I was either walking or I was jogging. It wasn't a proper run, but at least I got the distance, and the day after that I went on to doing more of the running. So I got a longer distance. I got 7k, and even though I can't really get the speed that I am aiming for just yet, I think getting in the distance and then just commit to the duration and commit to the run is already a big achievement for me, letting alone the fact that I've only started to train not long ago. So what's the difference since that now I moved into running and I moved away from weight training? What I find interesting is that instead of eating a lot of protein, it is recommended that if you are running a lot like I am at the moment, 60% of your nutrition should be made up from carbs. So that is the good news for me, because as I was signing up myself for a bikini competition in May, and before that, just because of that, I was on a prep and I couldn't really eat a lot of carbs. There are weeks that my carbs gone down to just 0.8, 0.4, something like that. So I hated the fact that I couldn't eat a lot of carbs. Going into running and 60% of my nutrition is coming from carbs, that is amazing. So for weight training before, I used to have about 150 grams of protein a day, and that should be the 60% or 80% of what I'm eating throughout the whole day. And changing from having 60 or 80% of protein for a day to 60 or 80% of carbs of the whole day of eating being carbs is a very nice experience, and I am actually loving that. So another thing that is quite important in terms of nutrition as well is the proportion of my fat is also increased. Because when you're doing exercises like running, your body is going to use fats and carbs to give you the energy to actually complete the exercise. So having a higher level of fat and higher level of carbs taken in is quite beneficial in that terms. And also when you are on a run, a good thing that I like, and another thing that I feel like I never sort of had in life before, if I don't go for a run, is that I discover so many new places that I never been to before. It is around me. It is 5 or 10 minute walk from me, but I never actually saw it. For example, the park that I usually go for my run is the historical Greenwich Park, and it is quite big. I remember the last few years that I've been in the area, I always think that it's a huge park, and I can never sort of like go around the whole park, and I would never know what's going on in that park. I only go in and I do a quick walk, and then I'm done. I'm going home. But now, because I'm trying to get in as much of the distance as I can, I even go 3, 4, 5 laps of the whole park. I know exactly what is there. I know exactly where things are, and I know exactly the spot that I can, look down onto the city and have a really nice view and all of that. And that is another thing that I really love about running. Also, when I am on a run, the fact that I've got to be there for a few hours, the fact that I'm going to be running in the sun alone for a few hours, that also means that I've got to have a good playlist of songs that I can listen to. And I think having trained for 4 years now, I never actually see music as an important factor in terms of training, because when you're in the gym, it doesn't really matter if you have music on or not. That is for me. Some people might find it different, but for me, when you're in the gym, I don't really mind if there's no music. I'll just work my way through. I don't really mind what kind of music I've got to listen to. But if I am out on a run and I know that I've got to do a workout, I can't just run at the pace that I'm comfortable with. So I've got to up pace a little bit, and then going down a little bit, and then going intense a little while, and then going back down. So the music that I'm listening to can really play a huge role in determining what I need to do in terms of the pace that I'm in for my run. So just setting up a playlist for either a workout or just a warm-up run, or a sort of like a cooling down run as well is another part. I never know that the beats of the music could really contribute to the way that you run and the speed that you put in your run. That is very interesting. That I would never find out about that if I never made a decision to run. And I think with weightlifting and all of that, I think if I were to go ahead with that competition, I would need to commit to endurance training at some point anyway, because to be able to go for a competition, you really need to get down to that percentage body fat that they require. And I just think without cardio and without running, I can never get to the point where my body fat percentage is less than 10% or less than 15%. I think with the whole training program that I am putting up for myself, the main goal is that I keep saying to myself, everybody is so depressed and everybody's finding lockdown difficult and challenging to get through and all of that, but I am going to get out this lockdown with a sexy body, with so many different things that are happening in my life, and I am going to take the most advantages of this lockdown. So I think now that I've learned a new skill, I picked up a new hobby of running, and I am actually quite good at it already. That's just making lockdown a hell of a lot easier for me, and I am actually loving lockdown in the sense, if I am honest. So I think for this lockdown, if you are feeling like you can't really do the thing that you used to do, for example going to the gym or going to the swimming pool and doing all these things, you can find another way to work on the thing that is similar to what you used to do, just to get you into the routine and feeling like you picked up a hobby, you picked up a new skill, and then if you keep working on it, eventually you're going to be better at two things rather than just one, and that is really amazing. Thank you for listening.